What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Page by Jennings. I love narrating and reading books, and I'm sure you will too. Today, I'll be bringing to life Runaway Pram from the book Just Stupid by Andy Griffiths. Let's begin. Of all the things I've ever done, this would have to be the most stupid. I'm lying on my back, squashed into a pram, sucking a dummy, waving a porky pig rattle, wearing a nappy. Danny is pushing me down the hill. He could hardly walk for laughing. Goo goo gaga, I gurgle. Good baby, says Danny. We spent the whole morning walking around the streets and expecting the piles of rubbish left in everybody's nature strips for the hard rubbish collection tomorrow. That's when we found the pram. It's a big old-fashioned one with large wheels, curved mud guards, and a high chrome handle. And, as if that wasn't enough, there was a garbage bag of old baby clothes and toys to go with it. Putting on a nappy and going for a ride just seemed like the obvious thing to do. The dummy is starting to taste a bit rubbery. I take a deep breath and spit it out. It hits Danny in the eye. "Bad baby," he says. He lets the pram go. I start to roll down the hill. I scream. Danny grabs the pram. "Just tricking," he says. "Good one," I say. He lets go again. I roll for a couple more seconds, but this time I'm only a little bit worried. He grabs the pram again. "You're an idiot," I say. "What am I?" he says. "An idiot!" He lets go again. I roll faster this time. He lets me roll a few meters. "Danny," I say. He laughs and runs to catch me, but just as he's about to grab the pram, he trips and falls flat on his face. The pram takes off down the hill. For real this time. "Danny!" I yell. I'm flying down the hill. I try and jump out, but I'm going too fast. But if I don't jump, I'm going to cross the road at the bottom of the hill and smash into number 21's brick fence. I see a man watering his nature strip. It's Mr. Broadbent, our next-door neighbor. "Mr. B!" I yell. "Mr. B! Help!" He turns around. I'm kneeling up in the pram waving my porky pig rattle. "I can't stop!" I yell. "Stretch your hose across the road!" He shakes his head and turns back to his watering. Mr. B and I don't get along too well. I know I can be a bit of annoying at times, but that's no excuse for ignoring a fellow human being in distress. "You'll be sorry!" I yell back. I look over my shoulder at number 21's rapidly approaching brick fence. Actually, I think it's me who's going to be sorry, unless I look at the porky pig rattle. I can use it as a brake. I reach over and jam it in the wheel spokes. The rattle shatters. "Thanks for nothing, Porky. What do we do now?" I notice that the pram is veering slightly to the right. Maybe if I can lean over a bit more, I could get around the corner, away from the fence, and down the next hill. That hill has an intersection at the bottom of the hill, but it does eventually level out, and the traffic shouldn't be too bad at this time of day. It's gotta be worth a try. I lean over the side and look back at Danny. He's running down the hill, but there's no way he's gonna catch me in time. The pram is almost tipping over. I'm on two wheels. Sparks are flying off the wheel rims, but it's working. I hear the sound of Mel screaming. I close my eyes. I open them again and look over the top of the pram bonnet. The hill is even steeper than I remembered, but then I haven't seen it from this perspective before. I hear barking. I look across the road. It's the bull terrier from number 19. "So long, dog breath!" I call. He throws himself against the fence. Everything's going my way now. I've even got a green light at the intersection. Oh no, I don't believe it. I had a green light. Now it's yellow. Now it's red. Now I'm in trouble. On the other side there are cars, trucks, buses and motorbikes, all ready to take off, right over the top of me. I have to make them stop. But how? I know. I grab my bag of baby gear and pull out a baby doll. It's pretty wrecked. but still realistic. It might just do the trick. Sorry about this, I say, but it's either you or me. I throw the doll as far ahead of the pram as I can. It lands right in the middle of all the traffic. The cars and trucks squeal to a halt. And I go rocketing into the intersection. There's nothing in my way. Well, nothing except for the doll. The pram hits the doll. I hang onto the sides and does a complete somersault. Phew! Radical! I look over the side. I'm heading for a fire hydrant. Smash! The fire hydrant casing comes off and a fountain of water sprays out the top. It blasted back at the pram and sends me hurtling down the stretch of road I was hoping to slow down on. I hear a huffing and panting sound behind me. Oh, thank goodness. Danny! I turn around. Uh-oh! It's not Danny! It's the Bull Terrier for number 19! He's broken out and is chasing me! He's gaining on me too! I grab my bag of baby stuff and pull out the first thing that comes to hand. A plastic bottle! I throw it at the dog. It bounces off the pavement and falls into the gutter. I grab my bag again. My hand closed on something smooth and hard. A container of baby powder! Perfect! I can use it as a smoke screen that will choke the dog and give me time to disappear. I throw the box. A cloud of white smoke billows out behind me. But it doesn't stop the dog. It runs straight through it as if it was, well, baby powder, I guess. The only difference now is that he's wider and madder and is gaining on me. I've got a strong tailwind. Why not take advantage of it? I remove my nappy. Luckily, I left my undies on. There's a sort of wire coat hanger in the top of the pram, so I rig it up on it. The wind catches the nappy and I go speeding forwards. Soon the dog is just a speck in the distance. I hear bells. Uh-oh. Bells can only mean one thing. A railway crossing! A train is coming towards the crossing and the boom gate is coming down. But I think I'm going fast enough to make it under the gates and across the tracks in time. I pull the pram bonnet down so it doesn't catch on the gate, and put my head right down so I don't hit my head. I come to a sudden stop. I made it under the boom gate, alright, but now the wheels are stuck in the tracks. The train is almost on top of me. I close my eyes. This is it. What a stupid way to go. Sitting in a pram wearing nothing but a pair of undies. Then, above the dinging of the bell and the roar of the train, I hear the huffing and panting sound again. I turn back. It's the dog! Barreling towards me with his head down. He's going to give the pram the headbutt of the century! No! I yell. Stop! That's no sense in both of us dying! Wham! The force of the dog hitting the back of the pram sends me hurling off the tracks under the boom gate and across the road. I look back. The train is clattering through the crossing. The dog is nowhere to be seen. But I haven't got time to worry about him now. I've got problems of my own. I'm heading towards two men carrying a large sheet of glass. They see me coming. Their faces drop. I veer left so they can keep going across the road, but they go left. I veer right so try and squeeze through the gap, but they go right. Get out of the way! I yell. Now they're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I have to get the pram onto two wheels again and get over to the other side of the road. There was an enormous crash of glass. I look behind me. It's the dog! He's just run right through the sheet of glass! He's indestructible! The men are waving their arms and yelling. Stop! They yell. E-way up! What? Are they crazy? E-way amp? What's an E-way amp? I look behind me. I'm not on a road at all. I'm on a freeway ramp! And even worse, I'm going towards a big red sign that says, roll way, go back! I can't! I'm going too fast! I'm going to be on the freeway in seconds! But the ramp is a sharp bend. There's no way I can make that turn. I crash into the curb. I go flying out of the pram, over the sun and over the sound protection barrier. I'm hurtling down to somebody's backyard. This is going to hurt. Think of the biggest and baddest bike accident you've ever had, and then raise it to power over 10 million. It's gonna be even 17 million times worse than that. I don't believe it! A trampoline! I bounced down so hard that for a moment I can feel the ground through the thin layer of trampoline rubber. But it's only for a minute. I shoot back up, away from the trampoline, away from the backyard, and towards a high wooden fence. But I'm thinking I'm gonna make it, but it's gonna be close. I flap my arms to give me extra lift. I skim over the top of the fence, but only just. A nail catches my undies, and they yanked off as I sail over. I'm flying through the air! Naked! Actually, it's not so bad. In fact, it's kind of nice. I can feel the wind on places I never felt the wind on before. And my luck seems to be holding. I'm heading for a swimming pool. It seems strangely familiar. A man and a woman are lying on banana lounges by the side of the pool. They seem familiar too. But I haven't got time to work out why. I have to prepare for splashdown. I close my eyes and make my body into an upside down V shape so that I don't go too deep. Splash! A perfect landing. I swim to the surface, shake my head and wipe my eyes. Uh-oh. Now I know why the man and the woman looked familiar. It's my dad's boss and his wife. Hi, Mr. Bangridge. Hi, Mrs. Bangridge. I say. Just thought I'd drop in. I don't know why they're looking so surprised. It's not like this is the first time I've appeared in front of them without warning, without my pants. There was a time I got stuck in that bathroom window, and the time I fell through the dining room roof. But, to be fair, this has to be the most spectacular. I guess you're wondering how I got here, I say. Well, I can explain. Mr. Bangridge holds up his hand. No, please, don't, Andy, he says, getting up out of his chair. It's not necessary. I'll just go and ring your father. Mrs. Bangridge is holding her hand up to her eyes. Mr. Bangridge helps her up and they go inside. I kick back and float across the pool. I can't believe it. I survived. That was the most terrifying ride of my life. I can't wait to get home. Fix up the pram. And do it all over again. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed Runaway Pram from the book Just Stupid by Andy Griffiths. Maybe one day, you'll find yourself in a pram, going completely out of control, and then, maybe, you find yourself up against, face to face with your dad's boss, or wife. Well, that's all for now. Stay tuned for more Off the Page by your favourite boy, Ryan Jennings.